Oh, hello everyone. It's Susie here from Esoteric Trading Solutions. I hope you're all well. I hope you're being kind to yourself, being kind to your family and friends, being kind to your putty cats, your animals, your dogs, and just being kind to strangers generally to make this world a better place. Collectibles, it's an area that I don't know much about. And basically, Rebecca, one of our subscribers, got me interested in this. It's essentially comics, you could almost say, on blockchain, basically. And I just thought I'd look into this one to just see what it's all about, because it's quite interesting. And obviously the main one is crypto kitties, basically. So what are we talking about when we talk about crypto collectibles? They're an entire new asset class within the crypto sphere, within cryptocurrency, but different to cryptocurrencies as such. So it's a very specific asset class. The main differences are, now I've put a lot of references here because as I said, it's something that I don't know much about. But the main differences are they're not like cryptocurrencies in the sense that you can trade cryptocurrencies on a market where you can see the bid offer spreads, the buy sell spreads, and that sort of thing. These basically are non-fungible digit assets, and essentially every crypto collectible is different and very specific. So they could be digital pets, they can be games, they can be artwork, they can be cats, they can be dogs. You know, there's Tron dogs. They can be all sorts of things. But each crypto collectible is basically different, and the idea is to buy a collectible that's essentially rare. Rare in what it is, and that's apparently what makes the price go up. So the standard for these collectibles is ERC 721. It's on the Ethereum platform, and it's different to ERC, the normal Ethereum token that we see, 720, I think it is. And basically what makes the value go up is the rarity of the collectible. So which is quite interesting. So all the tokens are not identical, and they are unique, and there's limited quantity in these specific tokens. So it could be, as I said, pets, it could be gaming, it could be something else. Now, some of the big Chinese companies are getting into this, and the way people make money apparently is something is extremely rare as such, and apparently depending on which crypto collectible you go into, you can breed them, you can change colors and all sorts of things. But I'll focus mainly on crypto kitties, because that's the one that most people know about. So if we go to the next slide, non-fungible tokens basically means that they're not one for one, they're not like. So say for example you trade XRP on the exchange, or EOS, or any of those that we see on the normal exchange, they're all the same tokens or the same cryptocurrencies or same coins. With cryptocurrency collectibles, the tokens are basically non-fungible, so it has to be specific to that collectible as such. And that's the main difference. They're not interchangeable. So essentially, yes, if you sell a cryptocurrency collectible that's a crypto kitty with a different reference number, and it has to be like for like. But the thing is, each of these collectibles has a separate token, and there may be limited editions as well. So it's not interchangeable like the cryptocurrency market. And what we mean by fungible, it's basically that something can be replaced by another item. So in terms of cryptocurrency markets, we're talking about fungible assets like money. They're all the same. So in terms of the crypto collectible assets, all the tokens are different. And it's also, as I said, it runs on Ethereum platform, but it's a different token with different standards and protocols, being the ERC 721 token, which is completely different protocol to the normal Ethereum token on the platform. So popular blockchain games in terms of collectibles, as we know, are cryptocurrency kitties, CryptoPunks, Decentraland. Also, there's obviously, we've heard of Tron dogs and all this sort of business. So there's a lot of different collectibles which we'll go through as well. So CryptoKitties is the main one that I'll focus on. And the CryptoKitties is, if you remember rightly, when this thing came out, it actually stopped the Ethereum platform from performing because it was so popular that the Ethereum platform actually came to a halt. It couldn't handle all the, the trades going through for the CryptoKitties, essentially, and it basically stopped the Ethereum platform from working. Now, apparently, when they buy these things, there's gas involved as well. But the CryptoKitties themselves, essentially, you can change the way the kitty looks. You can change, you can breed it, and you can do all sorts of things, which is pretty amazing. There's a combination of a number of different properties depending on, how you want to do it. I'm not sure about the collectible itself. I haven't been in there, but apparently you can change the age, the breed, the color. Each token is unique. Again, they can't be swapped with a as an equivalent to another. They're indivisible, I should say, and what you're trying to do effectively is breed a very unique pussycat, CryptoKitty, so that will sell obviously for a higher price. And there's different protocols. You've got to read all the literature about how to trade these and what to do and how to breed them and that sort of thing. So it's quite in depth. And you need to, obviously, if you're doing this, you need to really know what you're talking about and what you're doing, because it's a very specific market, and you really need to understand what creates the value and what doesn't within breeding these CryptoKitties. So, it's based around, the game's based around cats that are breedable and tradable as such. As I said, you're trying to find something that people are going to like, or breed something that people are actually going to like, and hopefully you'll make more money than what it costs you to buy or to breed this CryptoKitty. Now, this was launched in November 28, 2017, and they raised about $12 million for this, and Andreessen Horowitz, which is obviously a cryptocurrency investor, went into this. So there was quite a lot of interest at the time that the money was raised for the CryptoKitties. And, you'll see that the volume back in 2017 over that time was very high. Now, at the moment, volume is very low within these collectibles. So if you look at this, you can actually obviously check the token tracker within the Ethereum scanner, Ethereum scan, and it's got basically how many transfers here for CryptoKitties. 6713. This was taken a couple of days ago. Total transfers and that sort of thing. So you can get an idea of what people are doing. If you look at just the information about CryptoKitties on Ethereum scan. It's got total supply, it's got total holders of 73,000, total transfers of 3.7 mil, and just a little bit of information there to give you some background. It's got total supply of 1.4 million odd. And just talking about the ERC721 token, again, as I said, it's on the blockchain. It does have different standards and protocols to the normal Ethereum tokens that we see for people or for ICOs that go on the Ethereum platform. So completely different. Has a different standard of attributes in terms of the smart contracts as well. And essentially, again, it has very different events within GitHub to how things are transferred and the information that's transferred and what things are. So if you have a look at the GitHub here, it's talking about compatible. It's talking about what have we got here? Constant returns, defines the ownership, owner of, approve, takes ownership, transfer, owner, all this sort of thing, if you want to read that there. And that's pretty much the GitHub for ERC721. And going forward, they are proposing, apparently Ethereum's proposing other tokens which will have different protocols, ERC725 and ERC735, which will basically be other protocols with different compliance, different rules, protocol for the transfer of these crypto collectible assets. So that's essentially what they'll be looking at as time goes on in terms of the different standards and the different tokens. So the question is, how do you price these kitties? And that's one of the questions I fail to understand. I have to admit, you know, again, they do within their white papers offer a price guide for these crypto kitties, and they say there's three primary things to consider in a kitty: rarity, utility, and appearance. So obviously, you know, if something looks cute and gorgeous, that's and it's rare, then people are going to put some money into that. It just seems a very strange thing for me to be investing in myself personally. I suppose, as I said before, it's like a comic. You're investing in some sort of comic or something, you know, like a normal collectible that you see in traditional markets. But you know, and essentially it says that low ID numbers indicate that a kitty was born early in the game, and exclusive include kitties like Jenison, Cathena, bug cats, night kitties, and golden dog cats. So again, you've got to read the guides they put out and really understand, you know, where how they value these things, and that's the biggest problem. What's the valuation of these things? It depends on the supply, how much supply there is, but also how unique it is, essentially. So just reading the information, what makes the price of the crypto kitties go higher? Apparently it's its eyes and its mouth. You know, if it has a nice eyes and mouths, family jewels, you know, its family history, which is quite amazing, its descendants, the eye of the beholder. Obviously, no two people are going to have the same taste, as this says. It depends on whether you like pink cats or purple cats or all that sort of thing. And the X factor, what makes people buy something over something else? You know, I guess that's the whole thing, isn't it? How do you value that X factor, which is sort of like pie in the sky stuff? So, you know, what makes people want to buy something over and above something else? You know, obviously a lot of people like cats, and you know, why would I buy a pink cat over a pink one, over a purple one? And clearly that's the thing you're trying to price up, which is pretty difficult to do. Essentially, that's just to personal preference, isn't it, really, to what makes something go up in terms of the X factor. So if you look at this, there's a thing here called kittyexplorer.com prices, and this is supposed to give you the idea of what sort of prices. And someone, from what I can see with my research, someone actually bought a crypto kitty for $50,000 US, which is pretty amazing. So, you know, because it was rare and unique, and it was in one of the earlier crypto kitties. So it does give you a guide to how to buy a crypto kitty. So effectively, if you like a kitty, you know, you go and you go into MetaTask, and then you can buy something, whether you like it or not. There'll be obviously buy and sell prices there. And apparently, if you breed the crypto kitties, you can actually put those up for sale as well. So they call it, there's Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, and if you breed apparently 2 Gen 3s, you get a Gen 4 and all this sort of thing. So you really need to know the rules of the breeding, how it all works, and pretty much how you make money out of the rules of this collectible, which seems quite in depth, and you really need to know your stuff. You can also sell these crypto kitties, obviously, if someone wants to buy them. Apparently you can sell a sire, you know, and you know, again, it's got to be something very special as well, I'd imagine. So also within this, gas is also paid because it's on the Ethereum platform, and they show you a guide to how much gas it's going to cost you in terms of trading these crypto kitties. And if we look at the stats for kitties, we'll see way back here in 2017, when it came out in November, you know, the trading was really very high, and, you know, sales were very, very high. Now it's petered off to basically nothing. So I'm just wondering whether we see another opportunity, whether the market comes back. Crypto collectible market is down compared to the cryptocurrency market. So whether it's an opportunity to start looking at this this new asset class, for me, it just seems like you'd really need to know your stuff and really need to understand how these things get priced. And that's the biggest thing. I find that a bit obscure, I have to say. If you look at the Ethereum volume back in November 2017, it was up quite a bit, and now it's leveled off. And then we've got average kitty prices for a day, and there was a big jump here on the 1 day. So I don't know what that was about. If we look at buying and selling unique CryptoKitties, you'll see that there's all different. If you go to rarebits.io, there's all different CryptoKitties. And again, I suppose it's in the eye of the beholder which one you want to buy, essentially. This says they've got 212,000 or more CryptoKitties for auction, and it's a question of which one you like to which one you think is going to go up. And if you know your stuff, it looks like people buy things that, you know, they like the look of. So this is a rare CryptoKitty, and apparently people really like this one. And essentially, I think this was one of the earlier ones that came out, and essentially this was one of the very rare crypto collectible kitties. So obviously people like the hair and the tail and the eyes and everything else. I suppose it is pretty cute, but again, how would I value this thing? I honestly wouldn't have a clue, seriously. More CryptoKitties, all different ones. Apparently one CryptoKitty actually did sell for 300,000 US. That's what I've found just in my research. And I'm not sure which one that was, but certainly that's a lot of money to buy for a CryptoKitty, 300,000 US dollars. That's an enormous amount of money. So if you look at the kitty sales, and look at this reference, kittysales.hero app, you'll see the sales that have gone through, and you can see that there's some fairly large numbers here. Nothing's been done really since December 2017, and then they've had an entry back in the 4th of what's that? It's American date. What's that? The 4th of September 2018. So the pros and cons of crypto collectibles, the way I see it, obviously it depends on its rarity and uniqueness and the X factor. And again, how do you value that? That's the biggest problem I've got with this. You know, how do you know something's going to go up really or go down? I guess it's precedent to where it's been priced before. And again, it depends on what the buyer is prepared to buy something for. Again, with the X factor, it's very hard to price, you know, how much someone's going to buy something for, whether they really like it or whether they don't. This is on, you know, on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's a D app as such. It's a bit hard to know whether you hit the jackpot or not, but I guess the thing is people would probably buy the rare cryptocurrencies off the bat and then just hold those and see if they go up over time. Again, could it be a fad? Who knows? Will it not work going forward? Is it a market that people lose interest in? Who knows? It just seems to me that to get into this market, you need to know a lot about the whole game of crypto collectibles, particularly CryptoKitties, and exactly how you can make money out of it. And it also, this just depends on so many different factors to how you can make money out of this this CryptoKitty collectible game as such. So going to the next slide, what are the cons of crypto collectibles? I guess the thing is, what some of the references say, it's a digital collectible which is wholly dependent on the website that adds value. Virtual pets, land, or trading cards, again, it depends on, you know, where people see that value, and that for me is really, really hard to determine where that value is. There tends to be centralization in terms of price, but how do you determine that price? That's where I've got a problem with this. You know, they're not traded on centralized exchanges like cryptocurrencies, so the pricing to me is very, very obscure, and to me that's a bit of a negative actually. Also, they're not fungible, which means you can't trade, token like for like, i.e., for example, on the cryptocurrency exchange, EOS is EOS, XRP is XRP, and that sort of thing. And again, how do you differentiate between one cryptocurrency cat and another when you've got this Xfactor thing happening as well? And I guess, you've got to look at how much supply is out there, whether people are going to like the colors or whatever, and that's really hard to know, actually. So for me, it's sort of like a very obscure market. Other people might disagree with me. I suppose, again, it's, as I said before, it's a market I don't quite understand in that sense. There's other, sorry, I got a spelling error there, types of crypto collectibles. There are other crypto collectibles, and you might have heard of, obviously, crypto crystal, which is another breeding thing for different characters and whatnot. There's also, and we'll go into this, there's a whole list of different cryptocurrencies. If you go into the list of crypto collectibles, I should say, there's lots of them. CryptoKitty, obviously, crystal puppies, it goes on. You've even got art, a whole lot of art, peaceful creatures, games within game collectibles, Axie, which is apparently doing quite well, crypto togs or whatever. Again, you've got sports, you've got celebrities, you've got virtual real estate, you've got collectible marketplaces, rare bits, and you've got tools of crypto collectible creators as well. So the point is, whatever game you play or whatever collectible you're into, you just really need to understand how it adds value and how it doesn't, and you can look up that on that reference there. So again, if we look at the CryptoKitties, obviously in the last 7 days, 3446 was sold. Volume was quite small, 157.97. Average price, and I don't know which kitty this is for, but the average price, I suppose it's for all kitties, 0.046. Items in collection of nearly 1.5 million. An estimated market cap is 134.70 mil. So obviously there's good value in the CryptoKitties looking at that market cap. If we go to CryptoPunks, again, only 11 have been sold. Total volume 5.89, average price 0.53. Items in the collection 10,000, and the market cap is, what's that? Is that the market cap on that was 134,000, which means it's a lot lower than the item in the collection, which people would be losing money by the looks of it. And the same with the CryptoPunks, and you'll see that there's hardly any volume on Crypto Arts or Light Llamas. So if you have no volume, you can't obviously trade these things and get out of them either. So this is crypto crystals, as we mentioned, sort of little, I don't know what you call these, little tools and bugs and things like that. And there's another one called CryptoVoxels, which is something to do with three-dimensional space, all different stuff, which again, something to do with buildings and adding building structures and stuff like that. Gosh, there's so many different weird ones. HYPERDRAGONS, you can trade HYPERDRAGONS. In a way, they can eat CryptoKitties. Oh my god, this is amazing. You can collect them, breed them, and consume them, battling warrior dragons one-on-one, like Pokemon, the game. And a lot of these crypto collectibles were inspired by Pokemon. There's three forms so far: collecting, breeding, and consuming, and battle warrior dragons, and castle defense. So interesting. If you look at the rankings, if you go to DApps, you'll see the rankings, where the volume's being done, and how much is being done of each of these apps and how many people are doing it and the average price and that sort of thing. So again, you can go to OpenSea, which enables users to buy and sell cryptocurrency collectibles. There are other types, if you want to call it, exchange. It's a little bit different to the normal exchanges, obviously. And you can go and see where other users are buying and selling. But it is a completely different market, and you really need to do your homework. there's a crypto collectible celebrity cards, and the star cards are fixed at 58586,155, and essentially, depending on the card, depends on the price of the card. Clearly, they were released on July the 23rd, 2018, and they're all literally celebrities on the Ethereum blockchain stored on smart contracts. So obviously there's more issuance here for these, but if you go and look at these celebrity cards, it depends on the contract to how much it's going to go up. So something like Vitalik BUTERIN apparently was selling for 20 Ethereum. I don't know what date that was, but it was selling for quite a bit. Angelina Jolie was selling for 13 Ethereum. Donald Trump was selling for 13 Ethereum. And Satoshi Nakamoto was selling for 13 Ethereum. Emma Watson, 7.36 Ethereum. So people obviously like Vitalik because he's obviously the founder of Ethereum. And he was selling for 23 when those figures are out, but now look at this just recently. This guy's last sold was 123 Ethereum. So, it looks like there's money in these sort of collectibles that people know the person, and obviously, can't get your hands on any more crypto celebrities. So clearly it's the people that are really well known that are actually going up. So we look at the look at this. We look at the bid entered and the sold's 123.783. Now I don't know whether this is right, but I don't know when this was done. So it really depends on the Ethereum price. I was pricing off the Ethereum price today, but there's no. Oh, this was a year ago, so this is not going to be right actually. The dollar value, because it depends on where Ethereum was a year ago to where. To how much it's valued in terms of US dollars. I wish they had the Ethereum price a year ago, because you could be able to tell exactly how much a person paid in US dollars. Another one that people are buying is obviously Donald Trump, and that price, since we looked at the previous price, has gone up to 151 Ethereum, which is a lot. And also Elon Musk has gone up to 151 Ethereum. So clearly people that are very well known, celebrities, people, the collectible people that are in collectibles will buy the well-known, the very well-known celebrities as such. So again, what are we talking about when we talk about collectibles going forward? As I said before, there are going to be new token standards for more compliance, also more protocols and rules to ensure security of your collectibles going forward. Again, OpenSea and Rarebits, these are the these basically you can buy and sell collectibles on those too. I wouldn't call them necessarily an exchange. They seem like more like a private exchange or an over-the-counter type exchange, rather than the exchange that we're used to in terms of cryptocurrency. The digital art market's starting to get more and more DApps. And apparently, I've seen different figures, but CryptoKitty, I've seen 300,000 sold. CryptoKitty sold for 300,000. This has got 170,000. It's really hard to know where these things sold, because it's sort of a very different exchange to what we're used to. And decentralized sold up to 200,000. So if we just go forward, so what's next? Obviously, the protocols are going to be developed even more. Clearly it's intellectual property. They might, it looks like they raised an additional 15 million, Dapper Labs, and they're announcing all different types of series. They want to create better tools for the DApps, and have different private keys so they can go to Coinbase Wallet and Trust Wallet, which is owned by Binance and that sort of thing. So just making it a lot more secure process. And obviously they're looking for more scalability, because Ethereum basically couldn't handle it when the volume was going through big time for CryptoKitties. And predictions, obviously the celebrity coins are doing quite well. cryptocurrency collectibles, and you know, people are saying that they should do quite well, and people do, you know, apparently, you know, the public does like you know, holding collectibles. But overall, in my mind, now I might be wrong or right on this, my biggest problem is, how do you know where to price these crypto collectibles? And you know, the prices, you know, you got to, you know, 5 different sources and you get 5 different prices, which I find the most difficult. There's a lot of crypto collectibles out there, so you really need to be specific to what collectibles you're looking at, and you really honestly need to know your stuff. This is almost like a private market, where it's not an exchange traded market, if you want to call it that. Price is really dependent on the buyer, where they're prepared to buy the crypto kitty or the collectible. Again, you know, it could be as obscure as the Xfactor, what you like the color, whether it's pink or whether it's purple or whether it's blue. In my mind, you know, clearly if it's a celebrity card, like someone that's well known, like Donald Trump or someone, it looks like the price just keeps going up. But again, the holder of that collectible card wouldn't let that go. They would just hold it, basically. Rarity makes a collectible go up. But again, there's different, if you go into different internet sites, you just see different prices. And you just need to really know the market that you're in. It just seems very obscure to me. And this, in terms of which collectible you're holding, you need to understand the components of the game, to, you know, how you breed a crypto kitty, how you change its color, how you know, make it pink or blue or whatever. So to me, it's still pie in the sky stuff and a bit obscure. So it's probably, for me, I just want to make you aware of this market, but it's probably, for me, something I wouldn't look at, because it just seems like it's an enormous amount of time, and you really need to know your stuff. And I understand that Rebecca does very well in this area, but for me, I would need to spend so much time to really understand how you could price something like this. And also, that's my biggest problem, the pricing of this, the obscurity of the pricing, but also how you can get out of something if you actually get into it, because there doesn't seem to be an active exchange traded market. Thank you. I would be interested in people's opinions. Thank you. Anyway, please be kind to yourself, look after yourself, be kind to your family and friends. Please be kind to all your animals, putty cats, dogs, and any sort of animal you've got. And be kind to people in the world generally, just to make this a better place. Thank you very much.